Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. Alright, this is Europa Universalis IV Paradox Interactive. This is my personal all-time favorite game. I have logged more hours playing this game than any other, hands down. And despite that, for the Decathlon, this will not be easy. This game has never been easy. In fact, after thousands of hours, I still spend more than half of my time on this game playing easy. Because it is a challenge. It is super fun, and yet it's still a challenge. Alright, well, here's my challenge. We're going to jump in single player. You can control any nation in the world in this game. There are different timelines. However, the max timeline, beginning in 1444, runs to 1820. We're going to run that max timeline. Now, settings. I am playing on that normal difficulty. That is challenging for me. I tend to get frustrated when playing on normal difficulty, but I always give it a try. I try to go after those achievements. There are so many achievements on this game I still do not have, even after thousands of hours. Again, a lot of that's because I get frustrated occasionally and I switch back to easy, and then on easy I'm super successful, but even then I've never even been able to conquer the whole world playing on easy. It's still that tough. Historical setup, everything is there. Okay, this is normal. The one thing of note is that Fantasy Random New World is set to rare, meaning it is possible that if I start in Africa, Europe, Asia, that upon discovering the New World, aka North America, South America, it might not be the North America, South America as we know it, unless, of course, I start as a nation from North or South America. Alright, so there's our options, there's our settings. We'll go over the rules once we get into it, but here is the trick. See these buttons down here? I have Random New World, I have Custom Nation, and I have Random Nation. I really enjoy playing Custom Nation. That's actually where I tend to have the more successful games on here, even when I play on normal. If I do Custom Nation and I choose better options, better ideas for my nation, then I tend to do fairly well with that. None of that's going to happen here. Here's the real kicker. We are playing Random Nation. So every new save that we start with is going to be with a random nation. So I could have what we call an OPM, a one province minor, or I could start with France. Hopefully I'm not the big blue blob, but at the same time, score-wise, I might be better off. So you're here with me as I click the button, and we will start the game right away. Here we go, Random Nation. It looks like we are starting in the New World. This is going to be a challenging game. I don't even know if I can pronounce correctly how that is. Shu. Alright, we are starting among the Aztecs, among the Mexican smaller provinces of the New World. Okay, let's go ahead and set Iron Man. That will ensure no cheating. Achievements can be earned during this session. It will count towards the leaderboard score. Not that I'm worried about that. That's not what I'm going for directly. And we're going to get our game started. So while it loads up, the scoring for this game is pretty simple. The best of the best top first place score on this game ends up being about 7,500 points. If you divide that by 10, you have 750. So we're going to take our score and divide by 10. So every 10 points, I will score 1 point. All right, that leaves 250 points left. So for the other 250 points on here, it's a placement count back. So if you look up here in the top right corner before we go over our nation, right, this is our score. We have 0 points. Now, in order to score points, we have to be the top 10 in either administrative, diplomatic, or military rank. That is going to be a tall order. Scoring any points in this game will be a tall order, as we are a simple one province minor starting out, or maybe 2 provinces. Regardless, our ranks right now at the beginning of the game, 378th, 398th, and 1030th. We're nowhere near where we need to be in order to accumulate points. This game will be very difficult, but we'll do what we can. Alright, now, with that being said, you've got to get inside the top 10 to get points. Once you do that, you start accumulating points monthly. Okay, and it depends on how high you are in the rankings, depends on what kind of difficulty level you're playing on. As we're playing on Iron Man, there are no negative modifiers on that. If you play on easy, you have negative modifiers, meaning it's harder to score points, or at least you get fewer points when you do score points. Okay, and that occurs monthly all the way up until that 1820. So as you add up points, if you do awesome, you get 7,500. That is beyond awesome, by the way. I've never gotten that far along. But in that, you are also compared to every other nation in the world, and you get a ranking. You gotta score points to get a ranking. Okay, so there's the first trick. But based on that ranking, I have a count back system from 250 down to nothing, down to 1. So if you are the best scored nation in the world, you are first place, you get 250 points. Second place, 249. So it counts back a point each one. So if you are our 100th, 150 points. All right, so there's the trick. 250 points on offer for your position with a count back from 250 down to nothing, and then your total score divided by 10. Alrighty, well, we're going to be at 0 for a long time on this game. We're going to have to get it moving along as soon as we can. Speed 5 is where I like to play, but I do like to use pausing on this game. So it's a real-time strategy, but it is pausable. So I like to play at a high pace of speed, as I've played a lot. I know this game in and out. It's been a long time since I have played a small Aztec nation, actually really since they first included the DLC on this, which has been a while ago. This is one of the older DLCs. This game's been out for over 4 years now. When I returned from overseas, I lived overseas for a while. When I returned and I got settled and I purchased a new computer, this was the very first game that I picked up. It came out at the exact same time. All right, so our country, we've seen the rise of the Aztec Triple Alliance in the Valley of Mexico, while the Tarascan Empire has similarly started to expand their domain in the west. Further east, the Yucatan Peninsula is home to the fractured remains of the Mayan Empire and the recently collapsed League of Mayapan. Okay, religion. This is actually a really fun religious group to play in, the Nahuatl. So our modifiers, we have an extra advisor possible and tolerance of the true faith, which for us is the Nahuatl, is plus 1.0. Our government, it is a type of monarchy. Okay, surprising. I thought we were tribal. Well, it does use tribal government. Okay. Oh, it's just a cross. I get it. So we do have a designated heir. Let's see. Regency Council if they die. There are consorts. right? And the environment. North America starts out in relative isolation from the rest of the world. It's not something that will last forever. In time, European colonialists will appear, and you may find yourself overwhelmed by their superior technology unless you have sufficiently prepared for it. Okay, that's the name of the game when you start in North and South America. Right? Here is our map. By the way, if you look down here, the map's a lot bigger than this. It is the entire world. This game is playable throughout the entire world. The only exception is the Arctic and Antarctic regions aren't included. Uh, However, everything else, every inch of this planet is included. It is amazing. I love this game. I spent many, many years as a history teacher and loved uh, the historical aspects and historical accuracies of this game. Very, very much enjoy it. All right, so here is our small nation. We are on the Yucatan Peninsula, and in fact, we are so close to the site of the destruction of the dinosaurs, at least theoretically, uh, as what is believed to be the destruction of the dinosaurs. I believe it's right up here on the Yucatan Peninsula, but I might be mistaken on the exact location on that. Anyway, all right, here we are. So we're going to have to jump in here fairly quick, as I've talked quite a bit before we've even had a chance to leave our starting date of the 11th of November, 1444. This is our army. We have 6 infantry units. Each infantry unit has 1,000, so we have 6,000 troops. We have 0 cavalry, we have 0 artillery, but that is not a mistake. Artillery, in particular, is something you learn over time. You don't have that at the start of the game. They didn't have that at this time. All right, so we have diplomats that interact with other nations. We have 3 of them. We have merchants who are help steer or collect from trade. You have your army, and you have various estates, meaning you have people within your country you've got to keep happy. And by keeping them happy, they can help you in various ways. Here is our income. We have 59 ducats right now, and we currently are set up to gain about 2.5 per month. This is our reserve manpower, meaning these 6,000 troops, should some of them die, say 1,000 of these would go to replace them to get us back to full strength. Your manpower does fluctuate over time. It regains slowly, but if it runs to 0, you will not recover your troops as fast, and it's not instant either. This is our sailors, same sort of thing, except for seafaring, but you can see we have no ships. Why? Because, well, look where we are. Right? This is our stability. You want to keep this positive, otherwise it has negative effects on your nation, meaning it can lead to unrest. This is your corruption. Yes, of course, governments have corruption. This was a great addition to this game a while back. The game did not begin with corruption, but I've really enjoyed this feature. It costs money to keep the corruption down, but at the same time, as you make more, it comes with corruption. Then there's various modifiers that will pick up or events that will trigger that will lead to corruption. Okay, and you have prestige. This prestige can be negative or positive. It changes regularly. You can see right now I have just under 5, and I lose 0.25 per year. That varies depending on whether you have a positive or negative prestige by a lot. It'll change more rapidly. Okay, here's your legitimacy. This is your ruler. Your ruler is a trusted leader of your people, or not so trusted. If it's at 100, then they are fully trusted and well supported among the people. If it's below that, you could likely have many revolts, or you can see the rise of pretenders who think that they should be the leader and might take a claim to the throne. And finally, we have a power projection, also an addition to the game from the very beginning. Starting out with nothing, it means, well, you're not very powerful in the world. But as you do various acts, you can gain a strength in this power projection, and you can pick up some bonuses for that, but it's difficult to maintain. A lot of that occurs through rivalries. All right, these are just a couple short identifiers of your merchants, colonists, where you're able to expand your empire, your diplomats, and missionaries, where you can convert others to your religion. And another nice addition is we have 4 eras from the 1444 to 1820. There are bonuses that can be picked up by following certain guidelines, and if you meet those, then it increases a little bit faster. That splendor naturally goes at 1 per, and then you can pick bonuses as you unlock them through the ages. All right, this is our court. Our leader, our king, suppose you would call him. And don't even ask me to say that name. Not happening. All right. Your leaders have traits. They have traits in the 3 areas, which are our 3 types of currencies outside of the ducats in this game. You have the administrative, you have the diplomatic, and military power. All right, and those are my current totals. My leader has attributes in those areas or skills, and they are 3, 1, 2. So they offer 3, 1, and 2 each month. So your leader is hugely important. I told you I do custom nations. One of the reasons why I do custom nations is it's so important to get a good start in this game to get a leg up on your enemies. This is not going to be a good start. 3-1-2 is really weak. Okay. They also have other various attributes that come in time with age, which my ruler's quite old at 63. They are a lawgiver, monthly autonomy change. Aggressive expansion impact is -10. That's good if I am to grow here early. And it looks like I should have a new personality trait gained here shortly. My heir is my son, and they are worse, a 2-2-1. So when my leader dies, my heir will take over. They currently are well advised, so they have an additional advisor. They have a strong claim, meaning their legitimacy will remain when they take over. And I have no consort, meaning I am unmarried at this time. Alright, you're able to pick up advisors, and those advisors give you boosts. You have a base value of 3 for each of these categories. So your administrative, your diplomatic, and your military power. So this, combined with your leader, gives you a monthly increase in each of these categories by this amount. You can push by taking away 1 from each of these categories and adding that to here, meaning a +2 and a -1 from the other 2. So you're just shifting the balance, but you can only do that so often. And you kind of do that when things get a little unbalanced, or if you really are able to expand well, for example, you're going to need a lot of administrative power, and so you can push this way. So right now, I gain 6, 4, and 5 each month in these categories. Now, why this is so important is it is probably the most vital piece to this game, as you need to keep up with technology and some other areas that these categories are used for. All right, my government. We are tribal despots, so it's weak. It does keep the unrest down at least, so we don't see as much rising, and we are able to create cores more easily. So we are going to try to grow, and our culture, 100% of our 4 provinces are Yucatec. All right, diplomacy. We're going to go ahead and take actions here right now. The Zapotecs and the Kukumes. All right, that is one of our enemies right off the bat, so we're definitely going to take them. They do not like us. Their army is the same size as ours, and neither of us have a navy. We get bonuses now from going to war with them. And the Zapotecs, I think, are back here. Yeah, they are. Alright. Well, they are the same size as we are. Their army is just a little bit larger than ours. They also dislike us. And the Itzas are right here. I might try to use them to my advantage early, though, and see if I can make a friend out of them. Perfect. Alright. So I'm going to try to make an alliance here so that I can use them to conquer them. I can give them one province, and I can take the other two, and then grow my nation. Alright, oh, let's continue on. Okay, our economy. Without getting too far into this, this is your income side, this is your expenses side. You need to pay for a lot of things. The one area that has the biggest expense you got to keep your eye on is the army and fleet maintenance. We don't have a navy that's going to help with that. This is your trade, which feeds into that income. Here's the income part of that. And we currently have just a single trade node that we are tied to. Again, that comes down to we have just this little area that we know about. This is our own little neck of the world. The rest of this that is all grayed out is unknown to us. So this is our world as we know it right now. That will drastically change with the arrival of, for example, the Portuguese or the Spanish, who are probably the most likely that we would see first in this area. Alright, so I have my two merchants. I can send one of them here to collect from trade, providing us a little more income than that just under 1 ducat a month that we currently get. Alright, here's that technology piece I was talking about. That's what this is used for. So we are a 1-1-1. So we already start behind our neighbors in Europe, as most of them are probably going to be a 3-3-3. And we have a tech penalty, so it's going to cost us more to buy upgrades. So we're already behind, and it's going to cost us more. So we need 874 power. That should be the same for each of these, yes. And we are well below that. I told you we gain 6, 4, and 5 per month. So it's going to take quite a while before we are able to get beyond our simple 1-1-1 technology level that we are at now. And trying to keep up on this is going to be hugely challenging, and why we might not get beyond 0 points in this game, possibly, ever. Okay, these are our ideas. These are bonuses that you earn over time. And national ideas. I'm going to go ahead and take this on real quick and see what we can do. It's is our ally. So what is our bonus? Diplomatic reputation? Sure. Let's go ahead and set that as our first mission. Stability cost modifier, and yearly prestige goes up. I don't mind paying a little more on stability cost, as I try to use events a lot for that. So let's go ahead and take that. And here's our stability and expansion. So you get war exhaustion when you're fighting, meaning you have negative effects if your country spends too much time fighting. People don't like sending their sons off to war. This is your stability. It can go to a +3 or a -3, and you can pay to boost that. And I have that +5% modifier. That's what I just did, that decision. You have overextension. As you grow, if you grow too quickly, you negatively affect your nation. You got to keep this below 75, but realistically, you got to keep it below 100%. You get beyond that, and really bad things start to happen very quickly. You can face disasters. There's lots of things that feed into that, and this is colonialism, meaning using a colonist to grow and expand, which there's lots of uncolonized territory nearby that I would love to get my hands on. Alright, this is our religion. We are Mayan. We are 100%, meaning all of our provinces right now are Mayan. Okay, and here's our military. Very, very weak starting out. Our tactics, our discipline is at the base, 100%. So we have almost no army tradition. This will change over time. We can only have one leader right now without penalty. And I may just jump in and do that, or more likely I'll probably use my king, who I don't mind if he dies because he's pretty worthless, though his son is not any better. Okay, subjects, we have none right now, so there's nothing to see there. And these are the estates. So you have the clergy, the merchant guilds, and the nobility. So the wealthy elites, the church elites, and those who are part of the trade system, the merchants. Okay, these are the bonuses that they offer for being content. The bonuses can go much as they get happy, or they can have negative effects if they are unhappy. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to start slow just for a moment as I need to get things going. There we go. Itza has accepted our military alliance. We can now see their terrain. You can see how that's lit up. These areas are a bit darker. We're aware of this region, but we don't see what is going on in this region. All right, and as soon as possible, I want to take out this nation, the Kokomis. All right, looks like we're adding 0.53 ducats from our merchant there who's arrived at the Mexico trade node, and that's probably, yeah, right down here. So here's where that trade node is located. So this is kind of our center or hub of trade for this area. Oh, really? So the king, who had that one vacant trait, he picked up a negative 10% trade efficiency trait. So he just got that much worse when he was already really bad. All right, so I have a merchant here. We earn half a ducat each month. There is only 0.05 incoming from the Rio Grande, meaning there's almost nothing. So it's coming up from here into our area. Royal marriage, let's go ahead and take that. So this is all local trade. So there's 5, almost 6 ducats from all of these different provinces in the area that feed into it. So this is all localized trade. There's nothing outgoing because we don't have any contact with the outside world. And so this is the trade that is in the area, split among everybody that's here. And we get our percentage of that. All right, well, we improved relations already and completed that mission. So we got a bonus for that. Our diplomatic reputation just went up. Let's see. We could probably work on that one. We could use the bonuses. So we need to befriend Kitchi. That's there we go. Them. They already like us a bit, and actually are willing to take an alliance as well. That'll make a quick work of that. We're gonna start to speed up a little bit here in time. Oh, there we go. Okay, we just had a royal marriage. That led to an actual queen. There we go. We're already at plus 90. We only need 10 more to complete that current mission. And now we can set our sights here. We do have help. What's it going to take? Are we able to... Well, Kitchi's not in a good place to offer, but Itza is. If we offered, they would say yes. So we could declare war, but I want territorial claim before I do that. So let's do do this. Covert action, we're going to build a spy network. And that's this. So each month that'll increase by under 2. When I get to 20, I can fabricate a claim on one of these provinces, and then I can use that as my reason to go to war. Alright, now we're going to start speed time up a bit. Alright, what is this? Hero twins. A dream about the hero twins, who were conceived when their mother spoke to a severed head who spat upon her hand. That severed head was their father, who together with his brother was summoned to Xibalba. After their ball game had disturbed the peace of the lords of the underworld, the twins had many adventures before they themselves were summoned to Xibalba, as their ball game disturbed the lords once again. The dream was about the many trials the twins faced before they reached the lords of the underground, and how they managed to defeat the lords. The dream ended when the twins transformed into the sun and moon, which is a sign that a new age is beginning. Alright, so this event gave us a positive stability, as it was a positive story about the creation of the sun and the moon. So we gained 5 prestige and 5 diplomatic power for being the rival of our rival, meaning we befriended them, and actually we also gained an alliance through that. Okay, and the last decision that's available currently is to improve our prestige, which is a plus 10 already, and hopefully we're going to gain some more if we're able to conquer these territories. And let's see, national unrest for another plus 5% stability cost. Let's go for that. Alrighty. So our ducats are on the rise. We have 10,000 in manpower. I need my lowly king. Now, if you make your king a military commander, you run the risk of them being killed. But he's already in his late 60s, and I don't mind if he's killed. We'll deal. Alright, so these are the categories: fire, shock, maneuver, and siege. He is a 0-3-1-0 in those categories, which is not providing us much support at all. But it's better than having no general at all. And I do not want to spend the military power, which would cost 50, to purchase a general, or a regular general, non-royalty. Alright, so it's going to be a little bit of time here before we have our claim ready to go. But as soon as that claim is ready to go, I plan on starting the war. But we'll see. They continue to have no friends, no allies of their own, which is good for us. They have added 1,000 troops though, so I might need to counter that with my own. I don't want to take them head to head without my ally, as we are balanced. There we go. Okay, now we have 7 and 7, so we're level there. I can fabricate a claim, and I'm going to go for their capital. Alright, so now we have a claim on their province, even though there was already a way that we could justify war. We now have conquest, which gives us a cheaper coring cost on that province. But it looks like if we take their capital, it actually decreased the cost and the aggressive. Wow, okay. But I don't know what the Confederation would do. Let's see. Lands around us are divided into numerous cause. City-states of little consequence. All neighboring cause must join our city or perish. So it actually looks like Orgel will take the capital. You know what? That's actually going to be have a better effect on us. So we're going to offer territorial gains to Itza. We cannot call our other ally unless we also offer them land. And I could. So I could be tricky here and deceive them, take all 3 provinces, if we do win the war, of course. That's not a guarantee, but 14-7, we should have the advantage as long as they actually support us and help. But I could trick them, turn them into an enemy afterward, and keep our ally here, and then with this whole territory, be a little stronger. And with them, I could do the same thing. Promise them land to attack them, and then claim this territory in turn. Might not be a bad trick. Definitely a trick, though. Alright, well, it looks like we are ready to wage our first war. Alright, now, I do not want to attack immediately. I want the support of this nation. There we go. Now, by claiming this territory, they should not be able to claim it for themselves, and then I could steal everything. Alright, so we were able to do that. Hopefully they'll claim these for themselves. I do not want to engage with them directly. Oh, are they really going to claim that for themselves? Alright, well, it looks like I can get military power or diplomatic power for a small cost. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now this can definitely go differently than planned if they Oh, well, that didn't last long. I told you, you make your king a... Why would we be -1? We should have already been +1. That should have made us 0. I don't know why we have negative stability at the moment. Alright, what's this? Pilgrimages. The Kiachi, 13 sacred mountains, the large cenote in Chichen Itza, and local shrines to various gods and goddesses attracts a lot of pilgrims who need shelter, food, and other necessary supplies. To allow them to visit our local shrines would bring us prestige and perhaps some other incomes. Alright, we can gain 50 administrative power, or we can increase our manpower and prestige, and at a cost. Well, how long does that last? 20 years? That's good, but I like the administrative power right now, so we're gonna do nothing. Alright, well, things have settled for the moment. This is our odds of getting a siege. This is a capital, so a capital along with castles have various rules that apply to them that matter. So we have a 21% chance right now of winning this siege. Now it's gone up to 35%. We'll go over what all that means in time, but for now, alright. This is our new heir to the throne. So now that our son has taken over as king, he just had a son of his own at a 142 and is now married, and his wife is quite good, so if we can kill our son off sooner rather than later, we might actually be in pretty good shape. Oh, our ally's about to lose. They just did. That's okay. There, okay, and we have control of the province, that's good. They have control of Gavin, that's not a good thing. Alright, so right now we have 91% war score as we have now conquered their capital. And let's see how things go. Yes, I'm happy with this. Alright, So now, here's our situation. I have no leader. I don't mind if my current ruler dies because his wife would be regent ruler, and she's actually really good. And look at this, he's actually got decent stats. 4, 1, 1, 1. All right, now. What we're gonna do is we're at 100%, but if I leave this army here, it's 7-7. So they would become a rebellion right away. But also, this territory is not held by us, it's held by ITSA. So I'm going to take a little risk here, and I want to engage them in combat, but I want it to be right after they siege this down so that we can siege it down ourselves and control all 3 provinces. Yes, I am planning to betray ITSA. Okay, now if I head this way, it's going to take, let's see, about 2 weeks to get here and there, and they should have that seized down before we get there. Now the question is, are they coming with us? Yes, they are. We're not going to get there in time, though. Oh, they pulled it out. Darn. I wanted them to... I wanted them to seize that down. We might end up having to keep our ally and give them that one province. Okay, looks like we're gonna have our fight here, which is jungle. Dice roll for attacker. They should count as attackers, it's our capital. We're defending our terrain, but those rules confuse me sometimes. Well, we'll see. Okay, it looks like our fight's gonna happen here now. And that's also jungle. Alright, let's take care of this boundary dispute. Let's see, they get a claim on us, which doesn't matter because we're about to defeat them, and we're losing another stability. Letting your blood flow into the bowl and then burning the paper stain with your blood brings a vision to your eyes. The vision snake shows you a wild center of disease and fever, and with a jar of darkness in the hands, spewing snakes and insects. We lose another stability. Again, I don't know why we were at -1 because I thought we were +1 from that previous event. But anyway, okay, so our allies are coming into the war, and we did end up with the -1, which is so confusing because it's our homeland. But we are seen as the attacker, the aggressor here, so we're going to have to deal with that penalty. Alright, so this does come down to dice rolls, as it is kind of based off of a board game setup, but with twice the size of their army, we have quite the advantage. Alright, so we did easily defeat them here in this battle. And they are going to go crawling back here, and we're going to go finish off their army. That still didn't do it. They're going to head here. Now, if I let them stay put, maybe they can siege that down. Nope. Okay, they just finished them off, and they have no territories, so I guess we're going to have to accept that our neighbors are going to get that territory. Not ideal, but we'll take it. Oh, and ITSA doesn't want it. Well, hey, that, I guess that kind of works. I want it. Can I request it? Oh, are you not going to pop up for me? I can't ask for it, can I? Guess not. They don't want that territory. But if I give them this one, they're still not going to give that to us. Alright. Well, so it looks like the Kokomis are still going to exist after this, and we're going to make our neighbor unhappy. They're going to reduce trust by 20 by not gaining a province, but I'm not giving them this one and only taking one. Sorry, not going to happen. I'd rather deal with the consequences. Alright, so right now we're claiming these two territories. That's going to belong to us. They are still going to exist, so let me see what else I can do. In rivalry, no, I like that. I could make them our vassal. Sure, let's do that. That'll work. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and vassalize them, and that'll actually be a way to get all 3 provinces at once, and our neighbor's just gonna have to deal. All right, so here's our results from the war. They have accepted our offer. It cost us 14 diplomatic for that peace treaty. We get 12 aggressive expansion points, and you got to be really careful with that. Over time, you do too much expansion, people will declare war on you. All right, but that being said, we do end up ending this conflict with these 2 territories in our possession and the Kokomis being our vassal. So we now rule over them. All right, well, we are a bit over time here, so that does it for this episode. I am Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record.